Lewis Hamilton didn't hold back when reflecting on his crash in Barcelona, offering sharp insights into the car's unpredictable behavior that sent him sliding into the barriers at turn 12. While no team likes to see their star driver tangled up with a wall, incidents like these oddly serve as invaluable lessons. They strip the car down to its raw flaws. No sugarcoating, just hard data. The real question now is, will Ferrari take Hamilton's feedback, polish the rough edges, and roll out a 2025 machine that feels like it was tailor-made for him? This move to Ferrari was hailed as one of the sport's most monumental transfers, yet few could have predicted that the 7-time world champion would find himself in a high-speed mishap so early in his testing phase. But here's the twist. Crashes aren't always the villain of the story. They often shout louder than clean laps ever could. When Hamilton loses control, it's not just a driver error, it's a blueprint of the car's limits. He's not out there cruising, he's wrestling the car to its edges, decoding every twitch and tremor. In a way, the barrier was just the unfortunate punctuation mark on a sentence filled with valuable data. Ferrari would be wise to soak up every bit of feedback from Lewis Hamilton like a sponge, because, unlike Leclerc and Sainz, he's approaching the SF23 with a fresh set of eyes. That's the beauty of having a driver new to the machinery. He isn't numb to quirks the others may have simply adapted to over time. If there's an underlying flaw lurking beneath the glossy red paint, Hamilton's going to spot it. Early reports suggest he's already settling in comfortably with key aspects of Ferrari's setup, particularly the start procedures and clutch release, areas that famously haunted Carlos Sainz during his stint. Considering how these elements rarely undergo drastic changes with each car evolution, that's a win Ferrari didn't know they needed. What's even more intriguing is how Hamilton is quietly dismantling the long-standing narrative that he's not in the same league as Michael Schumacher when it comes to car development. For years, critics questioned whether Lewis had the technical sharpness to shape a car the way Schumacher did during Ferrari's golden era. But let's face it, Mercedes' refusal to heed his early warnings at the dawn of the ground effect era speaks volumes. Hamilton knew what the car needed, they just weren't listening. Now, with Ferrari seemingly all ears, we might finally see just how pivotal his feedback can be in transforming potential into performance. Perhaps this is why Lewis Hamilton has already requested tweaks to key elements of the car, including adjustments to the pedals and cockpit layout. At Mercedes, such feedback often fell on deaf ears, dismissed as mere justifications for what critics labelled as a decline in his performance. But Ferrari, they're singing a different tune. The fact that they've gone the extra mile to implement the complex pedal changes, Hamilton suggested, speaks volumes about the trust they've placed in his insights. Hamilton has also adapted surprisingly well to Ferrari's braking system, which differs from what he was used to at Mercedes due to the use of different brake discs. Even after his dramatic 120-mile-per-hour crash at the end of turn 12, which abruptly ended his session, Lewis had nothing but constructive feedback for the engineers. Despite the high-speed incident, he reported positive impressions, hinting that the car's issues aren't as dire as some feared. While the SF23 may have underperformed compared to its 2022 predecessor, it still managed to break Red Bull's dominance with Sainz's win in Singapore, making it the only car besides the RB21 to claim victory that season. This suggests Ferrari has a solid foundation. Now, with Hamilton's guidance, they might just unlock its true potential. For Lewis Hamilton, adapting to Ferrari isn't just about getting comfortable with new pedals or mastering the braking system. It's also about tackling one of his long-standing challenges, tyre management. This was a recurring issue during his time at Mercedes, often turning potential podiums into damage limitation drives. Ferrari is fully aware of this and seems eager to address it head-on. Interestingly, they're taking a tailored approach, designing a program specifically for Hamilton while putting Leclerc on a different path. It's a strategic move that acknowledges both drivers' unique strengths and weaknesses. Hamilton's 2024 season tells a story of paradoxes. 5 podiums and 2 race wins might sound respectable, but for a 7-time world champion, finishing 7th in the standings marked the lowest point of his career. However, considering the struggles of 2022 and 2023, these results were, oddly enough, an improvement. Now at Ferrari, the road back to the front is steep, and Hamilton knows it. But his biggest rival won't be Verstappen, Norris, or even Russell. It'll be the guy sitting just a few steps away in the same garage. Charles Leclerc is a qualifying maestro, capable of dragging a midfield car onto the front row and holding his ground with razor-sharp racecraft. For Hamilton, beating the competition starts with beating Leclerc, and that's a battle worth watching. This is where Ferrari needs to tread carefully. You don't sign a 7-time world champion like Lewis Hamilton expecting him to play second fiddle, while Charles Leclerc reaps the rewards of the team's off-season grind. That's not how Hamilton operates, and frankly, it's not why Ferrari brought him on board. He's here to win, not to be a supporting act. Ferrari seems to understand this dynamic, having already kicked off tyre management work with Hamilton during a brief 19-kilometre session in Fiorano. Sure, the damp conditions limited mileage, and the session doubled as a meet and greet with fans and his new race engineer, Riccardo Adami. But the real meat of the program lies ahead. What's particularly interesting is that Ferrari isn't walking into this partnership with rose-coloured glasses. They're fully aware of Hamilton's weaknesses and are tackling them head-on, which is why he's been slotted into an extensive testing program under the TPC, testing of previous cars, regulations. This isn't just about getting seat time, it's a tailored plan to iron out the creases in his adaptation process. But beyond the car, Hamilton faces a more personal myth to bust, proving that age is just a number when it comes to competing at the sharp end of Formula One. Hamilton, now navigating the same stage of his career, is out to prove that while Father Time might be undefeated, he can certainly be kept on the ropes. Age has been the silent rival of many great drivers, with even legends like Michael Schumacher feeling its weight during their comebacks. However, not everyone in the Ferrari camp is losing sleep over Lewis Hamilton's age. Piero Ferrari, the son of Enzo Ferrari himself, seems refreshingly unfazed by the idea that Hamilton's best days might be behind him. In fact, Piero is confident that Lewis will rediscover his top form swiftly and be competitive right out of the gate. Of course, expecting Hamilton to clinch the championship on his first attempt with Ferrari might be a stretch. It's not just about raw talent, it's about reaching that level of synergy with the car where trust is second nature and pushing it to the limit feels instinctive. That kind of relationship takes time to build. But if there's any driver on the grid you'd bet your life on to bridge that gap quickly, even at 40, it's Lewis Hamilton. He's not just experienced, he's a master of adaptation, someone who's thrived under changing regulations, evolving machinery, and fierce rivalries. If history has taught us anything, it's that counting Hamilton out is the biggest mistake you can make. The real battle at Ferrari isn't just on the track, it's between Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. While the smiles and handshakes are nice for the cameras, the visors will drop, and so will the friendly facade. Hamilton's mission is crystal clear: win his record-breaking 8th title and cement his legacy. So, do you think Hamilton's feedback after the Barcelona crash will give Ferrari an edge? Could it even tilt the championship fight in his favour over Leclerc? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, goodbye for now.